Swinging a high drive into center field. Hits at the wall. It is gone! Costas does it again. It's gone! It's into the bullpen! This game is tied! This game is tied!
And he swings and rips one to center field. It's high, it's deep, it's back, it's gone! Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over! The Red Sox have won the World Championship!
All right, let's go. Welcome back to Play Tessie. It is episode 271. This is the official Red Sox podcast of WEEI. Remember, hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. Rate 5 stars. Find us on YouTube on WEI's YouTube channel. You can hit the thumbs up on all of our videos, which are in the Play Tessie playlist there. You can subscribe to WEI as well. And then find us on the socials at Play Tessie on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm here with Sammy and Pat, and I'm Gordo, and I don't even know where to begin because the Red Sox just won game one of the wild card round against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium in the most stressful way humanly possible. Like I have so many friends and family texting me and calling me, and I keep saying the same thing, which is that I just lost years off of my life, like several years, because yes, like obviously the last inning where Chapman loads the bases with no outs and the tying run's on second and the go-ahead run is on first. That was insanely stressful. Don't get me wrong, it was. But every inning of that game was insanely stressful. And like, yes, the game begins and ends with Garrett Crochet and what he did. Don't get me wrong. But we as fans, in a good way, were put through the ringer tonight. Emotionally. And we are not, if you were a huge Red Sox fan that watched 162 or 150 plus games this year, and you're standing on the other side of that game, I genuinely feel like we're not the same people that we were going into it. And that's not to, like, nothing is done, nothing has happened yet. Like when we predicted this, we were talking about the series, the conversation was the Red Sox have to get game one to win the series. If the Yankees get game one, it's close to over. If the Red Sox win game one, they can win the series, but it's not necessarily over. This series is not over. But that game, that does not mean that you can't enjoy what you watched tonight. Now, having made it to the other side emotionally, enjoy the shit out of what you just watched. You're not a player on the field. Like, you don't need, obviously emotionally, you need to prepare yourself for tomorrow, but you do not need to prepare to play tomorrow. So you should enjoy the shit out of what you just watched. And man, I honestly wish there wasn't a game tomorrow or tonight. If you're listening on drop day, I wish there was not a game 2 right away so we could have a little bit more time to enjoy this before getting thrown right back into the fire. But man, I genuinely do not know how. I can speak for myself here. I don't know how I made it to the other side of that game with all of the ups and downs and almost like the incredible down it would have been to lose that game. Having been through all of that, I'm happy to be here recording this podcast the way that we are. There were plenty of times in that game where I did not think it was going to sound like this.
Gordo, Gordon, here we are, Tuesday, September 30th. Red Sox ahead 1-0 against the Yankees. But I want to think back to the day that the Red Sox traded for Garrett Crochet. It was December 11th, 2024. Feels like a while ago. Same day they got Carlos Narvaez, also a stud. But Garrett Crochet, when you traded for him, if you're a Red Sox fan, what you hoped for was this was a guy who, you know, he's not an ace, but he could become an ace. And Garrett Crochet has more than become an ace. Tonight, against the Yankees, 7.2 innings pitched. He pitched into the 8th inning in Yankee Stadium in the playoffs. Take a step back. Think about that. 7.2 innings in Yankee Stadium. 1 earned run. Anthony Volpe hit his little dinky home run. 11 strikeouts. 11. 7.2 innings, 11 strikeouts. Garrett Crochet, this is what you want when you trade for a guy like Garrett Crochet. When you trade Kyle Teal and all these prospects for a guy like Garrett Crochet, you hope that you get this. And tonight, this is exactly what you hope for. The Red Sox lead 1-0 in this series against the Yankees. Garrett Crochet on the mound tonight. This is exactly what you thought you were getting when you traded for him. A lot of the times you make these trades, sure, there's moments it looks like you have an ace, but to get a real ace like this on the road, hostile territory, what can you even say? There's not much to say. He did everything that a Red Sox fan would have wanted. 7.2 innings, 11 strikeouts, 1 earned run. The Red Sox win.
Sammy, don't bury the lead here. He threw 117 pitches.
107 and you know, people might laugh at that. 117 pitches. This is a guy who, when the Red Sox traded for him, he had never pitched a full season as a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. And there were general, legitimate concerns. Could this guy make it from start to finish in Major League Baseball? And me, myself, I'll speak for myself. I was very high on Garrett Crochet. I thought he was the guy that the Red Sox should trade for. 25 years old at the time. He's 26 now. A guy who could be an ace. But even if you ask me, would this guy make it through the season fully healthy? I would have said, I don't know. I hope so. I think so. He's 6'6", 255. Looks like a starting pitcher. Can he do it? There's no guarantee. Tonight, he's already made it through the regular season. He goes into Yankee Stadium against the Yankees, a heavy favorite, and just absolutely dominates them. What can you say? This is everything a Red Sox fan wanted and more. First round of the playoffs, I know. Outstanding. This is where do you even go from here? This is how you start. This is what Garrett Crochet was expected to. This is what he did do. Everything you wanted. Absolutely outstanding. Where do you even go from here?
So let me. No, I'm kidding. So I want to preface this by saying first pitch was 6:08. I would say from about 5:45 or so until the last out, I had a constant cold sweat, just all in the palms of my hand. Like I was literally like sitting on my couch, like arms sprawled out to not have contact with my hands, and I would come in and like grab my phone or something, and it was just like a cold, clammy sweat. It was just stress all throughout. There was before the whole Crochet thing in the ninth, there was a very brief moment where I was a little worried, and it was that Volpe home run. Not that it was a tank, it was a ball that was chest level in the other batter's box. Whatever. Great swing on a bad pitch, But there was one little part of me that was a little worried that maybe the home run issues we've seen from Crochet over the past month maybe would linger a little bit. And then he immediately shut me the fuck up and retired 17 straight. So there's that. They got the lead on the Yoshida single. I felt okay. I actually felt so much better about Crochet going out to start the eighth than any other bullpen arm, just because of how he's pitching. Velo was great. There was a time I think it was the sixth inning where the changeup was kind of getting away from him a little bit. It wasn't like he was throwing him to the backstop, but it was kind of getting away from him. But dude, the cutter sweeper was just unreal all night. He got swing and miss on all four of his big pitches. He had guys tied up. He was locating really well. Yeah, dude, it's the postseason. For all the people bitching and moaning about that 85 pitch start against the Mets, it's so he can do shit like this in September and October, and it's worth it every single time. And then we'll talk about Chapman in depth, but dude, that whole ninth inning, I just had like the war meme. It's the guy just staring, and there's like the bombs going off in the back. You know what I'm talking about? Like the flashback.
Yes.
That was me just thinking of him smiling when he blew that game against the Astros.
Oh.
17.
That's why all year. That's why all year I've been like, I'm not 100% sure about Chapman was situations like that.
But he had been so good. Where obviously there's always the possibility of your closer blowing a game, but just in that like slow build, like the slow knife twist that would be like, it was just going. And then he got the first out, felt okay. Second out, I felt good, not great. And then obviously he gets Grisham in its game. But man, what a fucking game!
The thing is, there were so many moments in that game, and like, don't get me wrong, in the regular season, like, think back to some of the biggest moments of the year when you knew, oh wow, this is a biggie before it happened. I think back to Crochet versus Judge before Judge hit that home run in the ninth. Like, you're thinking to yourself, wow, like this is a potential like movie moment right here coming up. It could be a huge strikeout. It wasn't. It was a big home run. Like those moments, we build those moments up. And it's in the end, it is a 162 game season. In a game like this, there were so many moments where the Red Sox had a chance with 2 outs to tie the game and they couldn't get the hit. Or the Red Sox had a chance to tie the game and Masa comes up and he does get the hit. Or there's a guy on base, Volpe, who's dancing around being a huge pain in the ass. And Crochet throws, in my opinion, the best pitch certainly I've ever seen him throw. That 100-mile-an-hour dot piece in the bottom corner of the zone, the inside corner to Austin Wells, was the best pitch I've ever seen him throw. And then, of course, Chapman balks him over to second, and you're sweating it out. And then the one moment during the game where you think maybe as a fan you can breathe a little bit. Bregman drives in the run to make it 3-1, and you think maybe you can breathe. But the next out is made right away, and before you can even blink in the 9th inning, Chapman is allowed back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches, and it's like, okay, here we go. So this game having that many moments where, man, like my existence can be turned upside down in the blink of an eye. Just, I mean, it was a special game. It feels weird that it wasn't like a clincher and we have to just get back at it. Pat?
Before we delve into all the players, all that stuff, you have to tip the cap to Junior Valentine behind the plate. He was squeezing both guys equally. All those paint jobs, he called both ways. There was, I think Fried had a curveball clip to top of the zone that wasn't called. And then in the 7th inning, maybe it was the 8th, Crochet had one like on the top outer corner that didn't get called. But the zone all night, like, I think both sides, like, no one really got truly fucked by the zone. Both,
yeah,
consistent.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. The ump should have really no say in the matter.
And they didn't.
That's exactly how it was. Both teams just kind of went head to head, and that panned out that way. So tip the cap,
Right.
Junior Valentine.
Yeah. I mean, you can have whatever strike zone you want. As long as you're consistent, I'm cool with it. Just be the same for both sides.
Yeah.
And I mean, early on in the game, there were a few moments where I kind of, I hate to talk about the umpire, but as a Red Sox fan, I was kind of a little bit miffed. But as the game went on,
there's calls you want, but it's not like he wasn't calling. He was calling the same game the whole way.
Right. It went the other way. The other way, and you saw it. And as a Red Sox fan, you kind of, you nod, take it. Okay. Yeah. It's both sides. Yeah. Whatever. It is what it is. That's baseball. Say goodbye to that with the ABS system.
And kind of tying it back, the pitch that you pointed out, that paint job, like we've seen that pitch called a ball 100 times. Like that's a 50-50 strike most of the time. Like that is a ball knee height right on the edge of the plate. And yeah, it was a great pitch, but it doesn't get called, whatever. But I agree. There was that one. There was, I think his first 3 strikeouts were all like 98 chest high. It just blew guys away. He had one on the changeup in the dirt. He had a bunch on the slider. His game plan against Stanton tonight was fucking awesome.
Crochet, you're talking.
Crochet. Sorry. Game plan against Stanton was awesome. Judge got to him, but didn't really do any damage. You don't worry about it. He was just. That was one of the better postseason starts I've ever seen from a Red Sox pitcher.
Ever. I have a question for you guys. It just popped into my head. How much credit? Obviously, the players on the field are the ones winning the game. But as we know, these games are won off the field as well. There's preparation that goes into these games, not just by the players, but by other people as well. How much credit are you giving me for making and eating the pizza last night, the shrimp pizza?
0.
It's a great point, Gordo.
You're the reason for the Volpe home run.
You did.
No, they don't lose when I make the pizza, Pat.
Yeah,
you don't lose.
You did a great job making the pizza, the wet, soggy shrimp, along with the pre-frozen, also probably soggy dough. That was great. Luckily, the Red Sox were able to overcome it. They only they won 3-1.
They are 3-0 in their last 3 games after making the pizza, and that's just like going like I don't know if they lost before that. I just started keeping track 3 games ago.
Gordo, 3-0. 3-0 would probably be the score of this game had you not made the pizza 3-0. However, you did, but the Red Sox were able to overcome it, and you could even argue that you making the pizza gave the Red Sox something to overcome, which makes you feel a little bit better as a Red Sox fan as their chances moving forward in the playoffs. The picture you posted today, man.
So good, dude.
It looks
so delicious. I even had some people in the comments. Most people were telling me I need to go to prison. But
you see my tweet?
Yeah,
I said, would you eat one bite of this pizza if it meant the Red Sox win game 1 against the Yankees? And like
a lot of people said no.
A lot of people said no, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them.
There were people that were like asking me for the recipe, telling me, where can I try this? Can you make me some? I said pizza for everybody if the Red Sox win the World Series.
Right. And that just proves that there are
look at her.
There are insane people out there who would, oh my God, dude, that looks like cardboard with shrimp. The scent of that pizza. Oh, so my ancestors are cringing right now hearing me talk about this.
Making it is like a puzzle because you have to cover as much surface area of the pizza with popcorn shrimp as possible. And it's like angled. Yeah, it's like Tetris. It's Tetris because you don't want open space.
No, you just dump the friggin' frozen shrimp. No. Don't switch to Pat. You dump the frozen shrimp on the you don't even have sauce on it. There's no sauce on it.
Pat,
you bury the lead.
This is. I'm not saying a good-looking pizza. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't feed it to my dog.
I don't think you're saying it's good-looking pizza.
But this has a deeper level to it because there's the whole Gordo strip pizza. They don't lose it ever. Do you know how fucking mad the Italian Yankee fans must be seeing a shrimp pizza being the reason the Red Sox are winning?
Oh my God, is that it, Gordo? Is that what you're doing? You're angering the Italian Americans in New York. That's why you're making this horrifying, revolting. Okay, kudos to Gordo. If that's why you're doing it, any other reason doesn't count. Congrats.
I love the pizza. And guess what? Breaking news. I have leftovers for tomorrow.
No.
Oh, dude, leftover shrimp pizza.
Tastes just as good left.
Okay, how does your apartment?
Oh no.
How does your place smell?
It smells like cat food.
After making the shrimp pizza, you can smell it onto the second floor.
So gnarly.
You're a fucking menace, dude. You're evil, dude. Oh my God.
How dare you, Gordo? You put your wife through that.
Yeah.
How dare you?
She doesn't love it. She doesn't love it.
Can you get her
for a good reason?
Can you bring her in here?
No, she might even be in bed by now. But at some point in the off season, we'll bring her on to talk shrimp pizza. Yeah,
she might be.
The fumes set her away.
She might.
I don't know. Hold
on, Pat's got something.
I don't know if Pat's frozen or not.
I'm not frozen. I'm speechless. This is so off topic, but we have to tip the cap. Dave Portnoy just tweeted that Hogdale is being flown to New York to call Game 2 at the Barstool office tomorrow.
Whoa! That is awesome.
Flying out Hogdale for Game 2 and 3 to add some much-needed energy to the stream at Barstool. Shout out Hogdale.
Shout out Hogdale. That is unbelievable. Let's not bury the lead, though. Gordo has concussed his wife. She's unconscious in bed, having smelled the Gordo pizza. Gordo, what do you have to say for yourself?
I have knocked out the Red Sox are up 1-0 in this series in a best of 3, in a game they had to have. And obviously, yes, Crochet deserves most of the credit here, but the real debate here is who deserves more credit second, me or Nick Sogard.
Fucking hate you, dude. So Sogard by a smidge, just
by a little bit.
by a smidge.
That's okay. I mean, he made some great plays on the bases today.
Hey, which one of the three of us said that Sogard should be on the roster? I think it was two of us, right?
In the end, that conversation was useless because all three of them made the roster. But I agree.
Right, but starting,
wait.
but it was two. It was Gordo. I don't know, dude. Honestly, I'm trying to think about the Red Sox. I'm excited about the win, but my mind keeps going to the scent of frozen shrimp wafting through Gordo's house. His wife, nice enough to not say that's disgusting, but like, oh,
she'll say it.
oh.
But you know who's not saying it's disgusting? Everyone on the Boston Red Sox right now.
You know what's fucked up?
You know what's the best? Hold on. I forgot to tell you. Hunter Dobbins tweeted something about his neighbors hating him because of obviously he was probably screaming during the game. And I was like, yeah, like my neighbors have never experienced October baseball. And someone in the comments was like, you better be making more shrimp pizza. So I'm just like, don't worry, I've got leftovers. And this is like in Hunter Dobbins' comments.
Oh, your neighbors are mad at you because their friggin' apartment smells like old shrimp that were frozen and meant to be thrown out, but they're reheated and soggy, sitting on wet dough. Ugh, God, if you're listening right now, I'm so sorry. It's Gordo's fault.
Listen, I gave myself the shout out, the well-deserved shrimp pizza shout out. That was a long time coming. I knew the second I made the pizza, they'd win game one.
Congrats.
Let's give some shout outs to some dudes who had some big moments today. Obviously, I think we should start with Nick Sogard. Had earlier in the game, had the play where he tagged to get to second on the fly ball to center. Didn't end up scoring or anything, but it was a big base running play in that moment. And then obviously the big one gets the hit, the single to get Sadon to third. Oh, wait, shocker, not a single, because he knows that Aaron Judge can't throw the fucking baseball because he's got no elbow and they can't DH him because they have Stanton and they need that guy in the lineup. So he knows he can take second base. Sogard gets to second. Instant gratification because he scores on the Yoshida single right away. What was Yoshida's single of first pitch? Was that on the first pitch? Yep. So just instantly Yoshida comes in and you're up 2-1 because of Nick Sogard being aggressive on the bases. And yeah, great scouting report. You got to run on the Yankees and make things happen, especially on balls hit to right field.
Yeah, talk about playoff baseball. That was the ultimate example of playoff baseball. Nick Sogard, a guy that a lot of people were kind of 50-50 at best at being on the playoff roster. He starts. Just a guy that, if you're a Red Sox fan, if you're a baseball fan, you want a guy like Nick Sogard on your roster, a guy who plays multiple positions. He makes good contact, hits the ball hard. He does the little things, and tonight was a great example of that. You never want a guy like that to be the guy. And I think the situation that the Red Sox have, it's perfect for him. I'm glad he's getting a shot in the playoffs. And tonight was a great example of why you have a guy like that on the end. Yoshida-wise, look, I've been very, very, very hard on Yoshida for about 3 years now. I've said this is a guy that the Red Sox could move on from. I stand by that. However, now that we're in the playoffs, you can't really change the roster much. He's great. He's been great. He's hot.
Killing it.
Great on Tuesday night. I'm never going to be the guy who wants his take to be correct rather than seeing the team that he roots for win. Yoshida made me eat crow tonight. I couldn't be happier. Just huge, man. This is exactly that kind of at bat. And I'm not to make a scenario bigger than it has to be. But when the Red Sox sign Yoshida, that's the kind of at-bat that people imagine. An at-bat where this pitcher's been on fire. He's been striking guys out. He's been keeping the Red Sox from scoring. He throws a pitch to Yoshida. Not a bad pitch at all, but a manageable pitch. Yoshida fights off into the outfield, run scores. That's huge, man. A lot of the times you get a pitcher like Max Fried tonight on Tuesday night who was outstanding. Max Fried was absolutely unbelievable. I think the biggest thing for him was that curveball, the 12-6 curveball. He was landing that whenever he wanted. However, you get a guy on base, you get a guy like Yoshida, a guy who's a contact guy, a guy who hasn't seen Max Fried all night long. Put him in there, gets the single. Egg on my face. Thank you, Yoshida. What else can I say?
So I have a question here because in our group chat, and Sammy, I know you were upset about this. Pat, I forget if you were. Were you upset that Duran got the start tonight, going into the game 0 for 10 with 5 Ks over Yoshida? Because Duran, Pat, well, hold on. First, were you upset with that?
Oh, I was livid. Yeah.
Okay, then good. I want to ask you this question then, because Duran struck out. Was it a strikeout and with a two on, two out spot, second and third?
Yep.
He struck out in that at bat. Okay,
Yes.
strikes out in that at bat. Obviously, looked incredibly uncomfortable against Max Fried in every at bat he had against him. That said, if you're talking pinch hitter, who is better suited to pinch hit in a gotta have it situation, Masataka Yoshida or Jarren Duran? It's Masataka Yoshida. Undeniably the hottest hitter on the team right now. He comes through in that spot. I'm not sure if Duran does. That's like so. Did that pinch hit appearance, Pat, change your opinion on the decision to start Duran?
No, because I would have started Willier over Duran and kept
interesting.
Yoshida for that pinch hit. That's how I kind of wanted them to navigate that. Dude, Jarren against quality left-handed pitching is borderline unwatchable. He just has a default swing no matter what the pitch is. And it's so infuriating, and especially against Fried, who he historically has not seen, period. Not even seen well, has not seen, period. Today, I believe, makes him 0 for 17 with 7 or 8 strikeouts.
0 for 13 with 6 strikeouts. So not as bad as you say, but still absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
Pat, were you saying total or for this year?
Total.
Total. Yeah.
Total.
Okay.
Over
So
13,
the 0 for
6
13,
Ks.
I was accidentally added tonight again. But dude, like it's just I don't get the rationale playing Eaton and Sogard, but then leaving Duran in there. If you're going full platoon, optimizing your chances, you can't put Duran in there.
Well, there's no other righties though. That's
It's
except Wong.
allow me to jump in. It's what Gordo said last episode, and you know, right or wrong, it's not a bad logic. Gordo, you said ride with my guys until the end, and Duran has been a guy, quote
Hold
unquote.
on, I did say that, but I also did say if they went Yoshida, I would have understood. Pat, I disagree with your opinion about Willier. I wouldn't have gone with Willier.
Sure, but regardless, this is why Cora went with Duran, is what I'm saying. Is like, Gordo, what you said is exactly what Cora was thinking. That's his guy. He's been a high 700s OPS guy all year. 2024, he was the best hitter on the team. This year, still good. Like, you get it. It makes sense. You understand why he's in the lineup, but you're watching.
Yeah.
Max Fried versus Jarren Duran. He's 0 for 13 with 6 Ks. At this point, you know, the game has passed. They've won. Thank God. But the next time that this matchup happens, you cannot go with Duran. It's just like it's your guy. Sure, that's fantastic. But at some point, you have to be like, look, it's not a good matchup. It's not a good matchup. He's 0 for 13 with 6 Ks. What more can you say?
Well, let me ask you this, Sammy. Going into game 2, it's another left-handed pitcher. Do you like what? Do you change the start? Like, do you roll with what you did today because it worked? Sort of. It didn't actually. I'd argue it didn't necessarily work. They didn't really hit well, but it won you a game and it allowed you to put that dude in a big spot. Are you starting Jarren Duran in left field, or are you DHing Yoshida and starting Rob Refsnyder in right field and maybe moving Eaton to left? I don't like. What are you rolling out there?
No, totally fair question. I right now leaning towards benching Jarren Duran. Duran is 2 for 16 with 1 walk against Carlos Rodon. Like, I get it. I get the I'm on the field, I'm the manager, this is my team, this is my guy, I play my guy. I get that. But at some point, I think you have to say, look, this is not a good matchup for you. Jarren Duran against lefties for the last month and a half has not been good. Jarren Duran versus Carlos Rodon, we have for a fact he's not good in this matchup. That is fine. That does not mean he's not a good player. He's still one of the main guys on this team, main guys in this lineup. But once in a while, you have to make the matchup play. So no, I would not play Jarren Duran tomorrow. I'd probably go Refsnyder in left field and I'd DH Yoshida. And that's not that much better of a situation, but it's better than Duran. And Duran is a guy who, like, I hate to bring this up. He's talked about the mental health, like the struggles he's had. Like, you don't want him struggling multiple games in the playoffs. Like, he's a good player, but you don't want to put him in a bad spot where it's disadvantageous to him, where he's going to fail. You want him to be in a spot where he's going to succeed. Tonight, if you're listening on drop day, Wednesday night against Rodon, I don't know. If it were me, not a good matchup for him. I'd rather Yoshida. And if Yoshida fails, he's probably gone next year. He's probably not on the team next year. I would put him in Wednesday night. If it works, great. If it doesn't, whatever. But Duran, I just do not have a ton of faith in right now against Rodon. Against a righty, fantastic. Rodon, not a righty. Lefty, bad numbers. I wouldn't do it.
Pat, would you?
I wouldn't play tomorrow, but I have a scorching hot take along the same lines.
Ooh.
Let's get nuts. What if I told you that the guys with the two hitters on the postseason roster with the best stats against Carlos Rodon?
I actually know the answer to this.
It's Carlos Narvaez and it's Connor Wong. So if you catch Connor Wong, it lets Wong keep the battery with Bello. He's caught whatever it is, 75, 80% of his starts this year. And it lets you DH Narvaez. And it lets you later in the game, when the bullpen comes in, DH whoever you want for Wong and just slide Narvaez to catcher.
Well, if you slide Narvaez to catcher, you lose the DH. So you'd have a pitcher slot there that you'd have to keep pinch hitting for. So you could do it, but like it does complicate things a little bit. I thought it was a little crazy at first. I was actually having this exact conversation with a friend. I was texting my friend about it. And originally I was hell-bent against it because I was like, you need to be able to pinch hit for Wong late in the game. But if you're pinch hit for Wong and you move Narvaez to DH, I mean, I don't know, because you're going to want to be able to pinch hit for your righties with lefties. But then again, they only have Tim Hill. Like the Yankees are not a team that's going to throw a bunch of lefties at you. Like once Tim Hill is used, he's out. I don't know. It's an interesting
what's the
one.
goal? What's the goal here? Like, I mean,
here, wait, let me ask you guys. Would you, if you had to pick one to catch tomorrow, because I think it is more of a discussion than because I originally tweeted, I thought it made no sense when Cora said they may catch Narvaez in game 2. Wong or Narvaez? Narvaez was awesome today. Was one of the biggest factors in getting Max Fried out of the game before the end of the 7th, which directly led to the Red Sox taking the lead. The second Luke Weaver got in the game, that's when they started to hit. And it's obviously no coincidence. Are you catching Wong or are you catching Narvaez?
I'd go Wong. Of course, on top, most importantly, he has that relationship with Bello. He's his guy. But against Carlos Rodon has allowed 4 hits, 1 home run, and a walk against Connor Wong in his career. I mean, come on. It's like, I know. People are going to roll their eyes at Connor Wong. How do you still believe in this guy? I get it. Like, it's hard to believe in the guy. The guy had like a 500 OPS all year, no home runs. The defense was so. He's Bello's guy. When you pitch and there's a catcher that you have a preference for, it means something. And this situation, this is kind of a gift, honestly. Kind of a gift to Alex Cora, because Connor Wong has been a guy that you don't want to play because he doesn't hit at all and the defense is so. He hits Carlos Rodon. This is a guy that he has good numbers against. He has a home run against him. So you couple that with his experience with Brayan Bello. It just makes sense. You have to play him. I would play him tomorrow. Pinch hit for him if you need to. If there's a situation where it's not Rodon versus Wong and you think that there's a better option, for sure. Absolutely. Nothing against that. Take Wong out, pinch hit for him. But to start the game and for the vast majority of the game, I would go with Wong. And I know it sounds insane, but I'm just going off of the numbers. It makes sense. Statistically, this is the move. I would go with him. And I think Brayan Bello, the guy who's starting on drop day, if you're listening, Wednesday, I think he would agree. I think he'd feel more comfortable with Connor Wong out there.
Pat, with the numbers you were looking at, did Wong have 10 at-bats, 11 plate appearances?
Yep.
Am I looking correctly? So none of those plate appearances were this year, which is something obviously noteworthy because Connor Wong this year is not the same offensive player as Connor Wong last year, where he was a really good offensive player, especially for a catcher. That said, I would start Wong too. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. Narvaez, I'm not against DHing him and trying that, but I also would be open to pinch hitting for Narvaez or for Wong with Narvaez later in the game. You could do it. I don't know. I would just go with Wong and let the game dictate it. I don't know. Pat, what would you do? You DH Wong or you DH Narvaez?
Yeah, no. The more I think about it, I think I would just play Wong straight up. And it all depends too, like how deep in the game Rodon goes. Like if you're getting 6th, 7th inning, then yeah, maybe a guy like Willier is expandable at that point. So you pinch hit Willier, and then you just put Narvaez into catch for the last inning or two, and then you can run the outfield of Eaton, Sadon, and Jarren. But it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom a lot like they had tonight, where you can just kind of pinch hit in the right spots. Cora just managed absolute circles around Boone tonight.
Big time.
They didn't want that pocket of lefties to see Chapman. Wouldn't you know it? The game comes down to it. So I think that's something that Cora really appreciates, is having like the most bandwidth possible in terms of, pinch hitting, defensive subs, and just really playing the matchups. I think playing Wong straight up gives you the easiest decision later in the game to pinch hit and then double switch, whatever you got to do. It makes everything so much easier if you just go Wong off the bat.
So I want to go back, Pat, because you talked about Alex Cora, and that's something we definitely need to hit on here about how he managed this game. So the Yankees start Ben Rice and Jazz Chisholm on the bench for this one. And Jazz, obviously, after the game, Jazz was fucking rip shit about it. Like, he wouldn't even look the media in the face when they were asking him questions. It was unbelievable.
This is my enough said. That's my enough said, dude.
Well,
you're ruining my closing segment.
Sorry, man.
No, go. I'm kidding.
The thing here is Alex Cora made it so that Ben Rice did not get into this game. And if you watched Red Sox Yankees this year, you know Ben Rice can fucking hit. He made it so that Jazz Chisholm got one at bat, and it was against Chapman. Good spot. Getting through that game with only left-handed pitching allowed you to have the most advantageous matchups. And then, not for nothing, I think it allows you to go to Garrett Whitlock for 2 innings tomorrow. Chapman, I'm sure, will be available. I'm sure he will not be going for more than 3 outs. It's still, in my opinion, a must-win game. Like, they're going to be treating all of these as must-win games. I'm not saying, like, if you don't win it, the season's over. But this game is to be managed as a must-win game.
Yeah.
So I would be more than willing to go Whitlock for 2, and Chapman should definitely, as long as his arm feels fine, be available. Everyone is on the table except for Connolly Early and Garrett Crochet, pitching-wise, in tomorrow's game.
I would even say Connolly Early's on the table. I can't fathom a scenario where he is in the game, but like Wednesday,
It's just like you didn't use any pitchers tonight, so like it's never gonna like, unless I guess it could go extra innings and there's no man on second. But.
So you step on their throats, and the Yankees did use pitchers, by the way. They used Cruz and they used Weaver. That's two
and
big
Bednar.
And Bednar, and Hill
and Hill. Okay, 4 guys.
Yeah,
Cruz, Bednar, Hill. Who did I forget to mention? Weaver.
Weaver.
4 guys. Right. So Wednesday night is when, you talk about the managerial thing, and people often put it on the back burner. Wednesday night, when the Red Sox have an advantage bullpen-wise, and I know it's not as simple as like, Bednar went on Tuesday, therefore he can't. He can still go Wednesday. Cora, this is where Cora shows why he gets paid the big bucks, why he's considered one of the better managers in Major League Baseball. Wednesday, huge game, and the Red Sox, dare I say, have an advantage. They have an advantage on paper.
They do.
I know Rodon has had his career. It speaks for itself. He's had a lot of success. Bello, this kind of 2025 first year where we've kind of looked at him as a number 2, number 3 kind of starting pitcher rather than a guy who has that sort of upside. But Wednesday night, man, I'm telling you, that is where Alex Cora shows you why Major League Baseball considers him one of the better managers and why Aaron Boone is not in that conversation. Big game for the guys pulling the strings tomorrow. Tonight, if you're listening on Drop Day. Go Sox.
2 things. 1, Devin Williams also threw tonight.
Devin Williams too.
Number 2.
Damn it.
That means that tomorrow, in true fresh arms, they have Camilo Doval, they have Mark Leiter, and I was talking to some of my Yankee fan friends who said I was crazy for this, which I think is just asinine. They did not put Luis Gil on the wild card roster.
Well, they were stupid for pitching him 85 pitches in the last game of the regular season.
So my point being is you
Dumb.
had to realize that losing game 1 was possible. In that circumstance, I mean, it's a best of 3 game. Obviously, games 2 and 3 are must win. Game 2, if Rodon goes 4-5 innings, are you gonna go back to the well of the guy, your top arms you just used today for back to back and fuck yourself on game 3?
You have to.
Or do you go with Will Warren, who's not going to start in this series, and then get to, Bednar, who didn't really throw that much, whatever. Then game 3, if you had a smart manager who set a roster right, would have Luis Gil on 4 days rest to piggyback your rookie game 3 starter in Cam Schlittler.
3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
Either way, 85 on 3 days rest.
Hurt.
You could give you an inning or 2, maybe.
He should not. I think the mistake was throwing him for as much as they did on Sunday, which
Agreed.
to their to justify it from their perspective, if they won their game and then the Blue Jays lost their game, and they did win their game, but if the Blue Jays lost their game, they would have had to bye through the wild card round. So I get it, but yeah, I mean that when you list it all out there, like obviously all of these relievers are going to be available if the game is close. Like in any situation outside of the Yankees being ahead by a lot of runs, those dudes are going to be in there. If the Yankees are losing, those dudes are going to be in there to keep it close. If the Yankees are winning by a little bit, those dudes are going to be in it to get the win. Will Warren is best suited on this roster for if the Yankees had won, and then you can use him in this situation if you're losing the game and to keep your guys fresh. But no, now it's all hands on deck.
One arm that we did not mention who will be fully rested and available and playable as needed. They can deploy him at will. Tomorrow will be Paul Blackburn.
Yeah.
He
I bet.
somehow made this wild card roster over maybe a 1 or 2 valuable innings from Luis Gil. So, Booney, by all means, throw Paul out there. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul. I was like, why did that sound familiar?
Dude, oh my God, Pat, I thought you were actually going somewhere with
no, Paul Blackburn.
Yeah,
hey,
pitch
Paul
Blackburn. Yeah, I mean, go for it. Throw Paul Blackburn, please. He fucking sucks.
I definitely, with having Will Warren on the roster already, having Luis Gil available to go just an inning in the third game, to me, definitely more valuable to them than Paul Blackburn.
But would he even be available if they put him on the roster? Didn't he pitch one of the last games of the season or close to it?
He pitched 85 pitches on Sunday. He definitely wouldn't have been available to start, but could he have thrown one inning in the game 3?
Yeah. I don't know. Is that where
Cora did it with his guys in 18 and it got him through to a World Series?
Yeah. That's hard though. You're talking about Cora like it's like a thing that managers do. That is therein lies why Cora is such a good manager. I don't know. Luis Gil, Aaron Boone. If you're a Yankees fan, do you trust him to use Luis Gil in the right situation? Actually, you know what? The more I talk about it, put him on the roster, throw him in there. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. Come on, Yankees.
Pat?
One kind of, maybe not putting a bow, but one thing I do want to point out that we did not mention tonight. Carlos Narvaez's 3 walks were so big for the offense tonight. He accelerated Fried's pitch count. He was on base for that Yoshida single. Narvaez had one of his better all-around games all season.
Bat flip, too. The way he bat flips his walks, that's you can't just do that. That's
and it sells them guy. Too. They were borderline pitches, and he tosses the bat right away, and it's like, oh shit, I guess it's a ball. But I mean, if anything, it got Fried out of the game. If this game went Fried for 7, Devin Williams for the 8th, David Bednar for the 9th, the Red Sox probably don't win the game. They probably don't.
Agreed.
but Carlos Narvaez, I think he had 2 walks. I think the third one was not against Fried, right? He walked 3 times, but one of them was not. It was a 4 pitch against Devin Williams.
Yeah, correct.
So,
yeah,
but the first 2 walks totaled 15 pitches, and that was the reason that Max Fried had to come out of the game. And then obviously, right when why am I forgetting his name? Luke Weaver. Right when Luke Weaver gets in the game, Sadon has an 11 pitch walk, which, I mean, Luke Weaver after that walk was not. He was done for. He was done for.
Right. And Gordo, to go back to what's his name? Starter friggin'
Max Fried.
Yankees starter Fried. Pretty clear the game plan against him, like right from the jump, was swing early and swing often. And that makes sense. He's a guy who throws strikes. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. So to work a walk against him, to get him kind of like get that pitch count up. And I know it wasn't perfect. He lasted a while and everything. Like he was good. Max Fried was Max Fried tonight. Like whatever. You won the game, but he was still
great.
Max Fried. To get him to work a walk, a long at bat. I know it's one at bat in the entire game where there was a ton of at bats, but that is big. That's big. That's kind of a momentum changer. And in a game where you're being dominated by an ace, a true ace, a guy who makes, $200 million for a reason. This isn't just a guy who's making money. Max Fried is legit. He is a true ace in Major League Baseball. To work a walk like that, where you really make him work, even if you're one of a million guys and you're the only one, that makes a difference. And you saw that tonight. So credit where it's due. Whoever does it, like, it's just when Max Fried is on, if you can be the guy to work that walk, you never know what it changes. And tonight for the Red Sox, it seems like that was, maybe not the difference, but it was part of the difference. So credit where it's due.
All right. Let's put a bow on this before we get out of here. I'm going to ask you guys, because obviously, I mean, we actually haven't even mentioned the fact that Lucas Giolito is not on the roster. He's injured. He's not going to pitch again this year. It's an elbow thing. Not as bad as they thought, but yeah, just a huge gut punch for a team that has had 3 starting pitchers carry them to this point. 3 guys that you could count on. Giolito and Bello both missed the first couple of weeks of the season, 2 or 3 weeks. And since that point have been rocks, horses. They've been great for you all year long. And now to lose Giolito at this point is absolutely brutal. But it further highlights the importance of getting in and out of this series in 2 games. Because let's be blunt about it. I'm going to be blunt about it. We talked series predictions, and Pat, I think you and I both had the Red Sox winning the first game and then not winning the series. Yep. So just because the Red Sox took this game tonight does not mean that we should get ahead of ourselves, that we should talk about the ALDS, anything like that. If the Red Sox lost game 1, they were not going to win the series. The Red Sox win game 1, they give themselves a shot to win the series. They have 2 chances to win a game, but their best bet, because when Pat and I made that take, we did not know what was going on with Lucas Giolito. Now we do. Their best bet to win this series is to not let Connolly Early see the mound on 4 days rest, which he has only seen in 2 occasions this season. Their best bet is to win game 2 in the Brayan Bello start. And I ask you guys, Sammy, I'll start with you. What needs to happen for them to win game 2 and get out of Yankee Stadium ASAP?
I mean, for Brayan Bello, when he is at his best, he is throwing strikes and he's not striking guys out. And I know that sounds insane. We all just watched Garrett Crochet strike out a million guys. He's dominant. He's one of the best pitchers in the world. Brayan Bello's not that guy. He's not that guy, pal. Brayan Bello at his best, he's throwing strikes. He's inducing ground balls.
Pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
Thank you. When Brayan Bello's at his best, he's inducing ground balls. He's inducing soft contact in the air or on the ground. That's what he has to do on a Wednesday night. I don't want him hunting for the strikeout. When Brayan Bello struggles, it's when he's hunting for the strikeout and he's nibbling and he's not getting guys out and he's getting close to the end of at-bats, but he's not getting there. Let the Yankees hit the ball. You have a solid defense behind you. You have Bregman at third base. You have Story at short. Second base, first base. You feel good about whoever is there. Let the Yankees hit the ball. Don't hunt for the strikeout. Let them hit it. That's when I think Brayan Bello's at his best. That's what he's done for at least the second half of 2025. Not every single game, but for the vast majority of the games. Let the Yankees hit the ball. That is what I would tell Brayan Bello if I were Alex Cora. Luckily, I'm not. But if I were, let him hit the ball, throw strikes. And at the most important part of everything, do not put guys on for free. Do not walk guys. If you throw a strike and someone hits a solo home run, so be it. Don't put guys on for free. That is what I would tell Brayan Bello. Throw strikes, let guys hit the ball.
Pat, what has to happen tomorrow for the Red Sox to win and get out of Yankee Stadium? 2-0 sweep. What happens?
They need to get to that Yankee bullpen as fast as possible. They used the top arms tonight. Rodon for the most part has been good. He's been really good at Yankee Stadium this year. But for them to be successful, there's pros and cons, right? You saw the lineup they deployed tonight against the lefty and Crochet, and they really couldn't change it all that much with going right to Chapman. Tomorrow they get a righty, so they kind of get the big boppers back. You get Ben Rice in there, you get Jazz in there, you get McMahon in there. So there's definitely going to be some more. It's a deeper lineup. There's more threats in that lineup tomorrow. The good thing about their deeper lineup is there's definitely question marks about that defense when they do play those top bats. I'll be curious to see who's at short tomorrow, whether it be Caballero or Volpe. After Volpe had 2 hits tonight, I can't imagine they sit him tomorrow.
Yeah, Volpe, yeah.
McMahon will be in there. He's great at third. Second base,
Jazz.
It's going to be Jazz, and he's a butcher over there. Ben Rice is not some stud first baseman.
But those guys can hit. Like, it's going to be.
They can all hit,
yeah.
Yes. But for me, it's a lot of what they did today. You have to work that count. You have to get Rodon out of there because you're going to be facing. I would be not stunned, but I can't imagine they have much confidence in going back to Weaver tomorrow. Fernando Cruz on a back-to-back, Bednar on a back-to-back, Williams, Hill, all those guys in a back-to-back. The only fresh arms they have are, like I said, Leiter, Blackburn, Duvall, and it's just in Will Warren if needed, obviously. But if you can really empty their clip in terms of bullpen usage early tomorrow, you're in a really, really good spot. And at the bare minimum, you set yourself out great for a game 3 if Connor early pitches well.
So here's mine. Last time Carlos Rodon faced the Red Sox, he walked 5 Red Sox batters in 5 2/3 innings. They only scored 2 earned runs because they only got 1 hit off him. Today, you saw it with Max Fried. He walked, I believe, 3 guys, and it was the key in getting him out of the game when they did. For the Red Sox to win tomorrow, you're probably not going to get the Garrett Crochet start you got today out of Bello. So you're going to have to be better with runners on base. You're going to have to be better with runners in scoring position. We've been saying it all year. It's been really up and down when the Red Sox are hot offensively. The line is moving. They're getting hits. A previous iteration of the club was hitting the ball out of the ballpark. You're not seeing it as much anymore. But when Carlos Rodon walks, guys, you're going to have to take advantage. You're going to have to drive his pitch count up, and you're going to have to get hits with guys in scoring position because 1, 2, 3, 4 probably runs is not going to be enough tomorrow. I think you got to get 5 runs at some point in the game. Get this game to the bullpen in the 6th inning with a lead, and I think you feel really good about things because I think Justin Slayton, if needed, can go more than 3 outs. I definitely think Garrett Whitlock can go more than 3 outs, and I think Chapman will be available for the 9th. Obviously, you've got lefties that, I don't want to say like you trust with everything you got, but you trust putting them in there against the lefties in their lineup. Pat?
Real quick, alluding to game 2 tomorrow, would you change the lineup at all where Romy leads off and Ref hits cleanup, or would you keep it how it was tonight?
I kind of like this iteration. Sammy, you're muted.
I'd keep it the exact. Sorry. I don't know why my mic keeps doing that. I would keep it the exact same. I mean, what would be the upside to changing it? The upside to changing it is a guy adjusts, but at that point, kind of like, I don't know. I'd keep it as is. I think it's, it's a little weird. I know people kind of like scoff at the platoon lineup, but like this is why they've been beating left-handed pitching all year. You look back to 2024. How many times did the 3 of us talk about their struggles versus left-handed pitching? Like you could go on and on and on about how much they struggled. This year, they kind of have maybe not figured it out, but they
back
have
and forth.
a solution. Yeah, at least they have a solution where you can kind of feel decent about it. So no, I would keep it the same as is. I didn't love the way Ref Snyder kind of was like. I get it was the scouting report was be aggressive, swing.
I
early.
hated when he swung at the first pitch of the game. I
Right.
was so mad.
Yeah,
I was like,
same.
you got to work the count. Get him out.
Right. No, like I get it. You want to be aggressive. It was very clear what the scouting report was, but at the same time, like, yeah, you got to adjust during the game. And I know Ref Snyder wasn't fantastic tonight on Tuesday night as we record, but at the same time, I wouldn't change too much. Like, it's a risk. Whenever you change stuff, it's a risk that these guys won't adjust and everything. So I would keep it as is. I think the Red Sox are very fortunate to have these lefty mashers. I know people they don't like platoons, which is to me is like, I get it on one hand. You don't want a bunch of platoons, but on the other hand, where you don't have better options, this is the way you go. So I would keep the lineup as is. It's not the best case scenario, but it's probably the best you can do right now.
All right. We're approaching the hour marker. So I'll close it out with this. This series, as I've said, I mean, this game was a game that I don't think any of us are going to soon forget. It was just, I mean, I don't want to call it an awesome experience. It was a terrifying experience, but the end result was awesome. I was on the ground when they finished it. But that said, I mean, when you wake up tomorrow, it's right back where you were when you woke up this morning. And when you're listening to this podcast, you're already there. The Red Sox have to go out and they have to win a game. They have to win one of the next two games to move on. That is still a difficult and tight position to be in. The series is not over, not close to it, and the Yankees are not going to go down without a fight. So I'm glad that we enjoyed this tonight. But that said, I mean, we could be right back here 24 hours from now with the exact opposite mood going into a winner-take-all game 3 off a loss. We could go into tomorrow night elated that they're going to the division series and Connolly Early can start game 1 because he wasn't needed in a game 3 that never happened. So many different things can happen, and it's all going to happen so fast that, I mean, really, we're in for a ride. And we're going to be right here with you guys recording episodes after all these games because, I mean, what? It's not, we're not going to just not talk about the games, right? Like, I needed this. I needed this outlet. I'm sure you guys needed it too. And after a loss, I mean, I think we might need it even more. And yeah, newsflash, the Red Sox will not sweep their way all the way to a World Series win. So we will be on here after a loss.
Whoa.
We will be on here after a loss at some point. And that's okay.
Whoa.
They lost games in 18. It happens. All right.
I mean, that's why people like us. We're here, lose, need some therapy. That's why we're here.
Yep. But
We'll
that's
see
going to
how
be
I
it.
do.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry. I was going to say, we'll see how I do after the Red Sox, because this is our first time podcasting about a team that's in the playoffs. I was going to say, we'll see how I do after the Red Sox lose a playoff game. I don't know how I'll be. I might be a mess, but that's why we're authentic. I'm never going to fake it. If I'm upset, if I'm a mess, if I'm distraught because the Red Sox lost the playoff game, I will come on here and tell you that's how I feel. Right now, I'm elated. I feel great. Red Sox are ahead 1-0. The Yankees win one in the next two. You eliminate those losers and you move on. I feel fantastic, but that is no guarantee that I will feel the same way moving forward. You can count on that. We will never be anything but authentic here on Play Tessie. Go Sox.
Yankees lose.
Yeah. So
Beauty.
that's it. We got to wrap. But I appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow and hopefully for many more this postseason. But we will certainly be back next few days because the Red Sox, or not necessarily if the Red Sox win, I guess we won't be. But we will definitely be back tomorrow and for more this postseason. Appreciate you guys tuning in to episode 271 of Play Tessie. Remember to hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. Rate 5 stars. Find us on WEI's YouTube channel. You can hit the thumbs up on all of our videos, which are in the Play Tessie playlist. Also subscribe to WEI on YouTube. Find us on the socials at Play Tessie on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. For Sammy, for Pat, for Joe producing, what a wild, wild, wild day. And we're going to be in for another one tomorrow. And we're going to be with you guys every step of the way. You can count on that. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.